Hello, this is lesson 12 grammar. This will be very short because we are just going to be talking about past tense of noun sentences, na-adjective sentences, and e-adjective sentences. So these are the three things. Well, essentially it's just two parts. So first we have here past tense of noun sentences and na-adjective sentences. As you can see here, we have the noun past and present future column, and we have the past column. And if you guys remember from our one of our previous lessons about the past and the non-past forms of verb sentences, we have the affirmative and negative form. Okay, so first part is non-past or present or future. Okay, so when we're talking about non-past, we are talking about the present or the future. Okay, so we have here the noun and the adjective samples. Okay, for example, we have here noun is ame, and ame means rain. Okay, and then we have this. Okay, ame this. So we have ame des for noun and shizuka, which means quiet, this for the adjective. So they are the same pattern basically. It's just noun or adjective and then this, right? And then if you want to make it into past tense, we have deshita instead of des. So ame deshita, shizuka deshita, and so on and so forth. Now for the negative, we have the same noun and the same adjective, right? You can see ame and shizuka in here. And you can see ja arimasen instead of des, because we are talking about negative forms of the noun and the adjective. So ame ja arimasen or shizuka ja arimasen. If we're wanting to make this into the past tense, this is basically the same as at the top, but with the arimasen. So for example, ame ja arimasen deshita or shizuka ja arimasen deshita. Basically, it's the same ja arimasen with deshita at the end of it. For example, 昨日は雨でした. It was rainy yesterday. 雨でした. Number 2, 昨日の試験は簡単じゃありませんでした. Now here is the main focus of this, the deshita and ja arimasen deshita. Alright, so those are for nouns and adjectives. So basically, when we're talking about nouns and adjective, their forms in the sentence wise is the same. They are the same. Let's talk about this. Let me just lay it out for you. So nouns and adjectives. So as for noun, we have ame, right, which means rain. And then we have shizuka for the adjective, which means quiet. If you want to make this into a sentence, we add des at the end, right? Ame des, and then shizuka des. So this is the base or affirmative non-past. Okay, affirmative non-past. Now we go to negative non-past. We will have ame ja arimasen. Ame ja arimasen. And same thing for shizuka ja arimasen. Okay, now we make this into past. So affirmative past and negative past. Okay, so for affirmative past, we say ame deshita, shizuka deshita. Okay, so instead of des, we use deshita. From this, change to deshita. Okay, non-past, past. For negative, you say ame ja arimasen deshita or shizuka ja arimasen deshita. Okay, so it's basically the same. Ja arimasen here, ja arimasen, and ja arimasen, but with added deshita at the end. So non-past is ja arimasen, past is ja arimasen, deshita. So this is how you make a noun or an adjective sentence into the past tense. As for affirmative, okay, affirmative is this. You see here, this. You make it past, deshita. Negative is ja arimasen. You make it into past, ja arimasen deshita. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have the past tense of adjective sentences. Now this is the last form that we have for this lesson. Like I said, it's very short. We have here the affirmative and negative, non-past, and past, okay? So as for adjective sentences, they are formed a little bit differently, okay? So instead of deshita, you change the adjective itself. If you remember the negative form of adjectives, right? You can see here, for example, we have atsui desu, atsui. If you want to make it into negative, you remove the and then you replace it with kunai, right? Atsukunai. Atsui, atsukunai. If you want to make it into past tense, you also replace the with katta, katsuta. This tsu is a small tsu, which I have mentioned before. It means that the next syllable is going to be a double consonant. So it's kind of pronounced in a harder way. Atsukatta. Okay, so there's kind of like an emphasis in the ta. Atsukatta. Okay, replace the with katta. As for negative, same. The atsukunai, right? Nai. It still ends with which means it is still considered as an adjective sentence because it ends with So, if you want to make this into negative, you still replace with katta still. So, atsukuna katta. Okay? For example, we have here 昨日は暑かったです. It was hot yesterday. 昨日は暑かったです。暑かったです。暑い。暑かった。Okay. We also have another. 昨日のパーティーはあまり楽しくなかったです。楽しくなかったです。楽しくない。Okay. 楽しい。楽しくない。楽しくなかった。I didn't enjoy yesterday's party very much. Let me just summarize it really quickly. So as we go here, we are going to talk about adjectives, right? Okay, so as for our sample, we have affirmative, non-past. We have atsui, or hot. Okay, it means hot, atsui. If you want to make it past, you basically remove this, right? And then you replace it with katta. Okay, atsukatta. Again, this is small tsu, which means next syllable is double consonant. Okay, double consonant. What does that mean? It means that instead of atsu, right? Instead of atsukatsuta, okay, this is not how you say it. It becomes atsukata. Okay, this part is going to be a double consonant, which means it's going to be a double T. And you pronounce it a little harder. Right? Atsukatta. Atsukatta. There's emphasis to the ta syllable. Now we have here negative non-past, which is atsukunai, right? Same principle. Atsukunai, which means not hot. So from atsui, replace the with kunai, it becomes not hot. Atsui becomes not hot. If you want to make it into past tense, atsukunai, right? Replace it with katta. So it becomes atsukuna katta. It's basically the same principle as affirmative to negative for adjectives, which is basically replace the last with appropriate suffix. Affirmative is atsui, right? Atsui. Atsui. You want to say it's not hot. Atsu replace e with kunai. Atsu kunai, right? How about when you say it in the past tense? Atsu, replace e with katta. Atsu katta. Atsuku nai, make it into past tense. You make it into atsuku na katta. Atsuku na katta. Okay? Atsui, atsukatta. Atsukunai, atsuku na katta. So that is how you make the e adjective into past tense. So that is all that we can or we have for this lesson. I hope that was easy enough for you to understand. If you are having trouble understanding this concept, make sure to let me know either in the comments or reach out to me personally via group chat or our Google Classroom. Thank you and see you next lesson.